Are you loving people or using people? Hey guys, as you know, one of our values here at Pan Society is reciprocity. And there's two ways to practice this. One creates relationships as transactions where you get something and I get something. The other leads to connection. Animism is about the latter. Let's take a look at the difference. Hi, thanks for joining me as I share suggestions on how to bring animism into your day-to-day life so that it's not an idea, but a lifestyle. If you appreciate us, please subscribe to our channel and let me know what you want to see more of. Thanks. So reciprocity means the mutual exchange of favors or privileges. And both the relationship as a transaction and the relationship that leads to connection, reciprocity is what's happening, but what's going on behind that is different. If you saw the movie Stand By Me, one of my favorite lines in that movie is, "I never had any friends like the ones I had when I was 12. Jesus does anyone." Back in the day when we were little, you hung out with whoever was available. Friendship was primarily based on proximity. So as long as neither of you were outliers, you were accessible and you were decent people, you became friends. You may not have had a whole lot in common, but you chose to like each other and invest in each other. You took what you got and you built upon that. And I'm still friends with my best friend from when we were 4 and my best friend from when we were 8 because we have that shared bond, that trust, and those experiences. That friendship was based on who we were, not what we got from each other. Today things are a lot different. Kids don't roam around the neighborhood anymore. They meet kids from daycare or school and may not live in the same neighborhood. So there isn't this proximity thing. The bar to be someone's friend is also a lot higher. You have to be involved in the same activities or like the same stuff. Maybe you have to share the same socioeconomic status. You have to look a certain way. Friendships are based on what you can do for each other. So you might have friends that you go shopping with, out to eat with, or go hiking with, but don't share other interests or talk about other things. Relationships are compartmentalized. Romantic relationships might also be based upon what you can give each other. If you have a shared idea of what couplehood looks like and what a family looks like, you can build a life around that. The hookup culture is about transactions. So if I want sex and maybe companionship, and you want that, we trade. There's no expectation or desire for anything else. And this leads to loneliness and a lack of connection because we're not really relating. We're exchanging. It's the difference between loving people and using people. I've had some relationships in my life that I realized were based on what we were doing and transactions, not being. And it doesn't feel good to be a commodity. So I let those relationships go so that I could focus on people who like me for me and not for what I could give them or do for them. People are not commodities. We're flesh and blood with emotions and spiritual lives. We need nurturing and care just because we exist as humans and not because of what we can do for each other. We want to be liked for who we are, not for what we can do for each other. And when we treat each other like trading partners for getting our needs met, it becomes really a cold and lonely and really disconnected place. And if you have people in your life and you still feel lonely and misunderstood, maybe that's what's going on with you. So if this is how you're experiencing humanity, maybe you should try to go deeper. Let yourself be seen. Go rogue and be vulnerable. If your people don't want that, find someone who does. Just because the person you're giving to is part of the human race. If enough of us embrace this and people in need, we all have what we need when we need it. Trying to get it as a one-on-one basis is tough and creates obligation. Reciprocity is not meant to be tit for tat. It's not meant to be give some, get some. Sometimes we have extra to give and sometimes we don't. But if we're all generous with our time and resources, it all comes back around to us and we're all filled up and connected. At the end of the day, it's all about connection. Thanks for watching. If you want help going rogue and rewilding yourself, join us on Facebook or Patreon. Ciao.